Boris, a husky wolf mix, was born for the cold. His lineage traced back to the wild wolves of the Arctic, and his spirit was as untamed as the northern winds. His eyes, blue as the glacial ice, saw clearly across the vast snow-covered plains. They were eyes that had witnessed countless winters, eyes that held the wisdom of survival. His thick coat, a mix of silver and white, protected him from the biting wind. Each strand of fur was a testament to his resilience, a shield against the relentless cold. The north was his home, a land where winter never slept, and he was its son. The endless expanse of white was both his playground and his battleground.
From a young age, I showed remarkable strength and intelligence. My paws were made for the snow, and my heart beat in rhythm with the Arctic winds. I learned quickly, my instincts sharp, my loyalty to my human companions unwavering. They were my family, and I was their protector, their guide through the frozen wilderness.
He was a natural leader amongst the other sled dogs, his commanding presence and unyielding spirit setting him apart. His fellow dogs looked up to him, following his lead through the harshest conditions. His deep howls echoed through the icy valleys, earning him respect. It was a call that resonated with the ancient spirits of the north, a song of survival and strength. Boris lived for the thrill of the sled, the wind whipping past him as he pulled with his team. Each journey was a test of endurance, a dance with the elements. He understood the vital role he played in the harsh environment, connecting remote villages and battling the unforgiving elements. His strength and determination were the lifeblood of the community. He was more than just a dog, he was a lifeline in the land of eternal winter. Boris embodied the spirit of the north, a symbol of hope and resilience in a world where survival was never guaranteed. A blizzard swept across the frozen plains, its ferocity unmatched by anything the land had seen in years. The storm was a force of nature, a white fury unleashed with a vengeance. The wind howled like a hungry wolf, its icy breath biting through layers of fur and chilling everything in its path. Snow fell relentlessly, each flake a tiny dagger of cold. The storm showed no mercy, obscuring the world in a whiteout so dense that even Boris, the seasoned tracker with his keen senses, struggled to see. The landscape was transformed into a featureless expanse of white, where direction and distance lost all meaning. The hunters, caught unprepared in the storm's path, huddled together for warmth. Their faces were masks of determination and fear, knowing that survival depended on their unity and resilience. Among them was young Liam, his father's hand gripping his tightly. Fear gnawed at Liam's heart, the raw power of the blizzard a terrifying spectacle. He had never seen anything like it, and the uncertainty of their fate weighed heavily on his young mind.
The hunters, experienced in the ways of the north, knew they were in grave danger. They had faced many storms before, but this one was different. It was as if the very spirit of winter had risen against them, determined to test their limits.
The storm raged for hours, an unrelenting assault on the land and its inhabitants. The hunters, their hope dwindling with each passing moment, knew their survival depended on reaching the safety of the village. But the blizzard had other plans, determined to swallow them whole in its icy grip. The path to the village was treacherous, and every step forward felt like a battle against the elements. The snow piled up around them, creating drifts that threatened to bury them alive. The wind's howl was a constant reminder of the storm's power, a relentless force that seemed to mock their efforts.
The hunters pressed on, their faces set with grim determination. They knew that giving up was not an option. Each step was a testament to their will to survive, to protect each other, and to make it through the storm. The storm's fury was a reminder of nature's indomitable power, a force that could not be tamed or predicted. The hunters' experience and knowledge were their only weapons against the blizzard's wrath.
As the hours dragged on, the storm showed no signs of abating. The hunters' strength was waning, but their resolve remained unbroken. They knew that the only way to survive was to keep moving, to keep fighting against the storm's relentless assault. The blizzard was a test of their endurance, a challenge that pushed them to their limits. But the hunters were not easily defeated. They had faced many trials before, and they would face this one with the same courage and determination. The storm's fury was a reminder of the harsh realities of life in the north, where survival was a constant battle against the elements. The hunters knew that they had to rely on each other, to support and protect one another in the face of the storm's wrath. The village was their only hope, a beacon of safety in the midst of the storm, but reaching it would not be easy. The blizzard was determined to test their resolve, to see if they had the strength to survive its icy grip. The hunters pressed on, their hearts filled with a mixture of fear and hope. They knew that the storm would not last forever, and that their survival depended on their ability to endure its fury. With each step they moved closer to safety, determined to overcome the white fury. News of the lost hunters reached the village, carried on the icy breath of the storm. Fear gripped the hearts of the villagers. They knew the unforgiving nature of their land. Hope rested on finding the hunters before the blizzard claimed them.
Boris, sensing the urgency in the air, stood alert, his every sense on high alert.
He watched as his human companion, a seasoned musher named Mikkel, prepared the sled. The dogs, their usual playful energy replaced with a focused intensity, barked impatiently, eager to be on their way. Mikkel, his face etched with worry, called out commands, his voice barely audible above the howling wind.
Understanding the gravity of the situation, I responded with a sharp bark, rallying my team.
They were the lifeline, the only hope for the lost hunters. Their mission was clear: to brave the storm and bring their people home. The sled cut through the blinding snow, a beacon of hope in the white wilderness. Boris, his powerful muscles straining against his harness, led the way, his keen senses guiding them through the treacherous landscape. The wind howled, trying to knock them off course, but Boris remained steadfast, his determination unwavering. The dogs worked in perfect unison, their breath forming frosty clouds in the freezing air. They understood the urgency of their mission, their every instinct focused on reaching the lost hunters. They were more than just animals. They were a team bound by loyalty and a shared purpose. The journey was fraught with danger. Hidden crevasses lurked beneath the snow, threatening to swallow them whole. The biting wind chilled them to the bone, sapping their strength, but still they pressed on, their loyalty to their human companions fueling their every stride. Section 5, the language of loyalty.
The bond between a musher and his dogs is one of deep trust and understanding.
It is a language spoken not in words but in shared glances, gentle strokes, and the unspoken understanding that arises from facing danger together.
Mikkel, his face weathered by years spent battling the elements, relied on my instincts as much as his own skills.
He knew the dogs could sense things he couldn't, their keen hearing and smell alerting them to hidden dangers and faint trails.
I trusted Mikkel implicitly. I followed his commands without hesitation, my loyalty absolute.
He knew that Mikkel would never lead them astray, that he would always protect them from harm.
We were partners bound by a shared destiny in this unforgiving land.
Hours turned into an eternity as the blizzard raged on. Just when their hope began to dwindle, a faint sound reached their ears. A muffled cry carried on the wind. Boris, his head held high, let out a sharp bark, alerting Mikkel to the sound. They had found them. The sled, guided by Boris's unerring sense of smell, cut through the snowdrifts towards the source of the sound. As they drew closer, a flicker of light pierced the white veil, the glow of a lantern, a beacon of hope in the blinding storm. The hunters were alive. The reunion was one of relief and joy. After days of battling the relentless snowstorm, the sight of familiar faces brought a wave of emotions that words could hardly capture. The hunters, who had been on the brink of despair, now found themselves enveloped in a warmth that no fire could provide. It was the warmth of hope, rekindled by the arrival of their loyal sled dogs. The hunters, weak and frostbitten, welcomed the arrival of Boris and the sled dog team as if they were angels descended from heaven. Their faces, etched with the harshness of the storm, softened as they embraced their saviors. Each dog, though exhausted, seemed to understand the gravity of the moment, nuzzling into the hunters with a gentle reassurance.
Boris!
Young Liam, tears freezing on his cheeks, reached out for Boris, burying his face in the dog's thick fur. The bond between them was unbreakable, forged through countless adventures and trials. In that moment, all the fear and uncertainty melted away, replaced by a profound sense of gratitude and love. Mikkel, his weathered face creased with a relieved smile, wasted no time in getting the hunters settled on the sled. His hands, though calloused and worn, moved with a practiced efficiency, ensuring that everyone was secure and ready for the journey ahead. He knew that time was of the essence and every second counted. They were weak, but they were alive. The storm had taken its toll, but their spirits were unbroken. As they huddled together on the sled, a sense of camaraderie and resilience filled the air. They had faced the worst nature had to offer, and had come out the other side, battered but not defeated. Their ordeal was far from over, but the worst was behind them. The path ahead was still fraught with challenges, but with Boris and the sled dog team leading the way, they felt a renewed sense of hope. Each step forward was a testament to their determination and the unyielding spirit of their canine companions.
Thank you, Boris. Your bravery and strength have given us a second chance.
We owe you our lives. Without you, we would have been lost to the storm.
We wouldn't have made it without you. Your courage has brought us back from the brink.
Boris, his chest heaving from the exertion, stood proudly beside the sled. His eyes, though tired, shone with a fierce determination. He had led his team through the storm, guided by an unwavering sense of duty and loyalty, his tail wagging gently. He had faced the storm's fury and emerged victorious. He had saved the hunters, proving once again the unwavering loyalty and courage that flowed through his veins. In the face of adversity, Boris and his team had triumphed, reminding everyone of the incredible bond between humans and their loyal companions. The journey back to the village was arduous, but the presence of the rescued hunters lifted the spirits of both man and dog. The storm, as if sensing their victory, began to subside, the wind dying down to a mournful whisper. As they approached the village, a cheer erupted from the anxious onlookers who had gathered to await their return.
We made it, Boris.
The warmth of the firelight, the joyful tears of reunited families, and the heartfelt gratitude in the eyes of the villagers filled Boris with a sense of contentment. Liam, his small hand clutching Boris's fur, refused to let go of his furry savior. In that moment, the bond between boy and dog was solidified, a bond forged in the heart of a blizzard, unbreakable and everlasting. The tale of Boris, the heroic sled dog, became a legend whispered around crackling fires on long winter nights. It was a story of courage, loyalty, and the unbreakable bond between humans and their canine companions. Boris, forever known as the hero of the blizzard, continued to lead his sled dog team across the frozen plains, his spirit as wild and free as the land he called home. And Liam, forever marked by his encounter with the storm, carried with him the memory of the brave husky wolf who had saved his life. In the heart of the frozen north, where winter held sway and the wind carried tales of adventure, the legend of Boris served as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, courage, loyalty, and the love between a boy and his dog could conquer all.